and they too are offered the opportunity to showcase their designs through this platform. Our ultimate goal with our fashion program is to progress our young designers through the ranks, and this year we have Laura Klaukowski, who is a past Young Designer winner, who returns as an invited designer. The entertainment industry is one that has been hit very hard through COVID. Entertainers need to perform in front of an audience, and that has been extremely difficult to do over the past 2 years. As event organizers, we've had to think outside the box for the 2020 and 2021 events with virtual parties and the like to try and adhere to that entertainment pillar of the event. This year, we are supporting a Durban tourism initiative at various satellite venues around Durban, and together with the city and those venues, we are looking to take the Hollywood Bets Durban July into the townships. Then finally, on the horse racing front, unfortunately yesterday we received devastating news that Rachel Venneker, our first female jockey carded to ride in the Hollywood Bets Durban July, was injured in a fall and won't be riding in this year's event. Thankfully, it's precautionary, and I have no doubt that Rachel will bounce back and she will secure her place in history by riding in the race next year. Rachel is the only female jockey in South Africa, but she is our leading apprentice, and it is almost certain that she will be crowned our country's champion apprentice in less than a month's time. Last year the race was won by Komeki Dung. He was the people's horse. He is the people's horse. He's owned by the first owner of colour to win the Hollywood Bets Durban July, Ashton Reynolds. And he's trained by a father and daughter team, Harold Crawford and Michelle Ricks, who became only the second female trainer of a July winner, following Candice Bass Robinson. The Hollywood Bets Durban July has been embraced by the people of South Africa, people of all races. It is because the event has been able to transform over the years, and this has resulted in its 126-year uninterrupted history that has been able to maintain itself through 2 years of being run behind closed doors, and will stand it in good stead to get back to the heights which it was pre-COVID and the popularity that it was. For the 2022 event, we thank our faithful partners, Durban Tourism. We welcome our new sponsor, Hollywood Bets, and we look forward to welcoming the public back to the Hollywood Bets Durban July. Thank you.
This has evolved into a people's event, from a real budget experience where you spend 230 rands on the entrance fee, get a horse roll and a Coke, and then get to enjoy the full Durban July experience, to a 7-star experience where you eat platters of things that you can't pronounce. By now we know that the Durban July has a brand new spin.
Sanbonani, greetings to the Honorable Mayor Kaunda, Umamwile Mdungwa, the executive of Itegwini, the team at Radisson, as well as the members of the media. We thank you for being here. You play a very critical role in what we seek to achieve today in getting the message out to the masses, who I am sure are very excited to hear that the Hollywood Bets Durban July is back in full force and what to expect. So mine is just to speak on behalf of the sponsor. Being a new sponsor, I'm sure a lot of people are wondering, what does Hollywood Bets have to offer that is different from what we've seen before? Well, our journey with racing doesn't start with the announcement of our sponsorship of the Hollywood Bets Durban July. We have been involved in racing for many, many decades. So for us, this is such a critical moment in the journey that we've undertaken. Working very hard to ensure that we make the sport of racing very accessible to people of all races, of all cultures across the country, that we bring a level of excitement. And so by being a sponsor, one that also looks at the value of the projects that we get involved in and what they mean and the impact that they can potentially have, we wanted to see how we could add value back to this great race. And so we looked at the value chain of racing, and we looked at things, such as the grooms. And that's why in partnership with, in partnership with our partners, we were able to then look at the grooms initiative and how we can make that even more exciting. So we've taken it from 1,000 Rand that the grooms win for every race that's won to 2,000 Rand. We've also extended, the prize money for the main race, the Hollywood Bets Durban July, from 2 million Rand to a staggering 5 million Rand. So the excitement really is palpable, and it's an excitement that is shared by all, not only in the racing fraternity, but as mentioned, in the fashion fraternity as well, within entertainment. We've really also been intentional about looking at things such as the involvement of small and medium enterprises in the value chain, once again, of the Hollywood Bets Durban July. We do understand that we are coming from a very tough situation with the floods, with COVID-19. So ours was to ensure that during this year and leading up, to the next race in the following years to come, in our involvement, we ensure that we create opportunities for small to medium enterprises to really benefit from this event. Another thing that we are well known for as well is bringing people together. So we bring our sponsors together to create cross-pollination and to really introduce racing and introduce football or whatever else we're involved in to different communities, because that's how we grow the sport of racing, and that's how we grow sport in general in South Africa. So one of the very exciting things as well that we have to announce is that our partners who are in the English Premier League, who we are the sponsor of, Brentford, will also be sponsoring one of the races, Race 8, which is the second most popular race after the main race at the Hollywood Bets Durban July. So they will have visibility and will be able to engage with some of their fans in South Africa. So it's really also about bringing excitement to people. So you would have seen some of our activations at Gateway, where we have our car that is displayed there. So someone will be walking away with, or driving away rather, with a polo on the day. So there's a lot of excitement, there's a lot of competitions that we're bringing, there's a lot of integration and cross-pollination of our different partners that we have, and we've bought into the sport of racing, and we hope that by doing so, we also invite more partners to be involved in racing and to grow it beyond the Hollywood Bets Durban July, but the sport in itself, because that is the greatest vision for us as Hollywood Bets. So I ask that we spread the word, we get people excited, we remind them that Durban is the warmest place to be, and that there's a lot of purple excitement that we'll be bringing to the Hollywood Bets Durban July, and we hope to see you there too. Thank you.
A warm welcome to the Radisson Blue Mhlanga. Welcome back to His Worship, the Mayor of eThekwini Metro Municipality, Councillor Polisi Kaunda, the Durban Tourism team and officials. Thank you once again for this amazing opportunity to showcase our hotel. Esteemed guests from Hollywood Bets and Gold Circle, and most importantly, members of the media. Thank you again for allowing me this opportunity to showcase this hotel, and of course telling the Radisson Blue story with yourselves. It's an honor to have opened and lead this flagship hotel with a magnificent operations team. And I'm delighted to welcome guests to experience the personalized service and stylish spaces we have to offer within our confines of this hotel. We are aiming to make every moment matter for our guests and showcase Durban hospitality at its best. We certainly have a quality product, the location, and a great international brand behind us. Radisson Hotel Group is proud to announce its entry into its fourth South African city, Durban, with the opening of this beautiful Radisson Blue Hotel. This opening also brings the group's portfolio in one of its key African markets, South Africa, to 14 hotels in operation and 2 under development, and hopefully more to come in KZN. I would like to quote from the Radisson Hotel Group Senior Vice President for Middle East and Africa, Mr. Tim Gordon. We are thrilled to make our debut in the welcoming city of Durban and cement our presence in our fourth South African city. South Africa continues to play a key market, or to be a key market for us on the continent, and we are proud to celebrate our 14th hotel opening milestone with this entry into Durban as we open another flagship property. With its prime location overlooking the ocean adjacent to the exclusive Oceans Mall. This property will enhance Durban's vibrant offering, and we certainly hope that we will be welcomed into the local community. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Marius Ill. I'm the General Manager of the Radisson Blue flagship hotel on the most vibrant east coast of our beautiful country, in the most resilient city in the world, Durban. We are now open for business. Thank you.
Durban Tourism, KZN Tourism, Durban Fashion Fair team, Hollywood Beds, Radisson Blue, and all stakeholders and partners. My brand is called Indoni Fashion House, and I am part of the Rising Stars Durban Fashion Fair designers that were selected to do Hollywood Beds Durban July. I started being part of the Durban Fashion Fair in 2014 when I did the mentorship program, and from there I never looked back. Akubanga lula, kodwa siyathanda ukuthi siyabonga kakhulu kwi-Durban Fashion Fair nge-opportunity abasinikeza yona ne-platform abasinikeza yona as upcoming designers. Manje sesikhulile, kuningi esikufundile, i-fashion business sifundile sabona ukuthi akuyona into elula, but i-dedication nokuyinikela kwethu and the support from i-eThekwini municipality isibekile la esikhona namhlanje. I'm one of the designers that are supplying with Edgar's, Sentin City, Edgar's Gateway, Edgar's in Manlin, and we have a store that we co-owning with other 5 designers in Glenwood Village, which is called The Fifth. So siyabonga kakhulu umasipala weTheku, siyabonga ngokuthi basinikeze le platform abasinikeza yona each and every year, which is the Durban Fashion Fair, ukuthi sikwazi ukuthi showcase our new line each and every year. So siyabonga kakhulu.
Sorry, I'm going. Ma'am, sacela ukuqondana nathi ukuze singasethani yabo.
another big round of applause to the designers. So if any of you are still looking for an outfit,
Security about the event, how many cops will be deployed around the area in order to keep people safe around that time? Thank you.
Rachel, how was she injured, where, and maybe her recovery, etc. Just to expand a little bit more on Rachel, it was a historic move to have her as the first female jockey, so we really want to know more about that.
Yeah, thank you. First of all, the event numbers, it is quite difficult to give you an exact number. It's obviously with ticket sales happening at CompuTicket online, it's increasing all the time. You are correct, 30 to 35,000 is our initial estimates at the crowd that we will get this year. Some of that is broken up obviously in the hospitality side, some of it's broken up into the public entrance side. So at the moment we're looking at about 15 to 20,000, but historically in the last week of the event, that's when I think Durban is known for waiting till the last minute to get their tickets. So we are expecting the numbers to increase drastically over the next 4 days. And we are pretty confident that we will get to the 35,000 capacity this year. On the second question with regards to Rachel Vanica, yes, it was devastating that we had the news yesterday. It was actually in the 8th race at Hollywood Bets Gravel last night that she was injured. Her horse fly jumped and she made contact with the starting stalls, so she suffered some concussion. That's the only updates that we have at this stage. It is a precautionary measure. The doctor has asked that she stand down, obviously because of that concussion, but we don't expect that it will be a long-term injury, and we do expect that she will be back hopefully in the very near future, but obviously Saturday just...
but man, the security one.
Thank you very much, colleagues, for your questions. Mine is on the security, as the chair of security in the municipality and the mayor. So there is a joint operation which include all our law enforcement agencies. They've surveyed the area. They are now ready to execute their responsibilities. Unfortunately, we can't give you the number of the police that will be involved because we need to keep that with us. And we want to ascertain that we have hosted major events in the city without even a single incident. So we'll keep to that record. It's a very good record. Major events, some of them hosted more than 18,000 delegates, 10,000 delegates, 9,000, 7,000 delegates without even a single incident. So therefore we want to give an assurance that police are hard at work with our metropolis, with all the other law enforcement agencies working with the private security companies that will also be joining us in making sure that we guarantee safety to all our visitors. So your safety is guaranteed. When you arrive there, on your arrival, even when you go to your hotels, moving around the city, the security will be guaranteed. So definitely those who have not yet show up for their tickets, please, this is the opportune time for you to buy your tickets. Otherwise they'll be sold out. So we don't want them to be sold out without you. We want you to be part of the event. So don't miss it. Thank you very much.
If I can just, add, initially our plan was not to sell tickets on the day when COVID restrictions were in place in order to manage the number of people arriving at the course. Obviously it was very important that we're having to manage numbers in that sense. Now that restrictions have been lifted, we will be selling tickets on race day as well. So those people arriving on race day, there will be 3 CompuTicket points around Hollywood Bets Gravel that will be selling tickets. Even even with the lifting of restrictions, that COVID hasn't disappeared. One of our partners, well, initially our plan, pre the lockdown restrictions being lifted, we had Testara as a partner in the event, who was a testing facility. We had the Health Passport Worldwide as a partner in order to facilitate queue management and verification of vaccination certificates, etc. Unfortunately, those partners have had to step aside now that those lockdown restrictions have been removed. However, we've also got Lifebuoy on as a partner in the event. There will be sanitizing stations at the entrance points, and there will be reps going around the event. So as an event organizer, we definitely are aware that there is still a need to be aware that we're having to live with COVID. We've learned to live with it for 2 years. The government has now taken the decision that it's up to citizens now to manage their own risk. But us as event organizers, we will do everything that we can to ensure that that risk is minimized as far as we can.
Thank you very much for that question, but we are always cautious of the fact that we can't unpack all our plans, because there are people who may be planning somewhere. So once you unpack your plan, they know exactly what they are expecting. So the best thing to do, the issues of security, they are very sensitive, but all what we know, our intelligence of the country, whenever there are events of this magnitude, they don't only map eThekwini. They map you from the all the corners of the country, so that the traveling will also not be interrupted, disturbed as people moving and descending to our shores. So we are certain that although we can't unpack things, but we are certain that those who will be traveling using land transport, the air transport, there are not going to be any disruptions coming to our big event. And we encourage people, especially to drive with the limit, the speed limit that is within our legislation, so that we don't experience accidents on the road. You don't leave Johannesburg very late, then you think you'll make it within 3 hours. So it's important that we adhere to the road rules, so that we can all be safe and arrive safely to our event. So that's what we are encouraging. Those who consume liquor, they must always ensure that in all the events they'll be attending, they will have the drivers who are non-alcoholic. So the drivers who can take you back home safely. It's very important. There are many other digital platforms which you can also utilize to ensure that you leave your car behind and you take the transport that will guarantee your safety. So that's what we are encouraging, because we do not want this event to be painted with a very black brush that after all these events, then there will be a number of people who will be involved in accidents and all of that. So in townships, they are part and parcel of the security plan, even the gatherings that will be taking place in township and rural areas. All that has been planned, and we guarantee safety of our people. But you know us as Durban, we have not been failing you. Whenever we host events, they become successful. So this one is not going to be separate from all the events that we have held. It's also going to join the success stories that we have held before. Thank you very much. We are hoping that we have covered your question. In terms of airlines, definitely, as we have outlined in our statement, that there is improvement, and we expect no bigger challenges in that relation to the issue of the airlines. We are hopeful that people will book their flights early. The late booking, sometimes they also disorganize you as an individual. So it's better to book early so that you don't experience challenges. Those who will be using taxis, they are also welcomed. Taxis will also be available, and all mode of transport. Some may be using even our ocean to come here. Thank you very much.